Ahoy hoy gang, if this is your first time with us, welcome, and if you're joining us from a previous video, hey, we love to see it, and I hope you're doing well. It's Season 6! It's our 100th episode celebration season, and there is a ton of high-quality datage to appreciate here, 100 episodes into such an incredible show. So there's only one way to get to the nitty-gritty of it, so let's get our fix of Season 6! Number 5. Piñata named Desire. Water? Like, yeah, okay. So Season 6 is also another season that's really hard to order the top 5, but the top 5 are all really, really solid in their own right. Like, on one day, Piñata named Desire could easily be in my number 1 spot. This is an episode that I just absolutely adore because not only did I love war games as a kid, I loved watching with my mom. It was just a movie that meant something to us for some reason. But it's also just a great episode full of amazing jokes. It's a great stand versus, but also stand with Roger episode where they're both learning something from each other. There's a chemistry there, almost literally. It's just... there's so much to love just with the A story, just with Stan and Roger, and then you have the B story about Steve and the gang's last official slumber party. You have Little Entourage, you have Little Turtle. Oh yeah, you have some of the best Smart Barry comments. It's great. The episode is just fantastic. Having Barry run out and go, "The all is lost" moment. You live for that stuff. Piñata named Desire shows that 6 seasons in, they have hit their stride with what they want American Dad to be. It started as political commentary. That's all but washed away now. This is just peak good American Dad. They've had 100 episodes to shape the show, and this is what they have. And honestly, Season 6 is just powerhouse after powerhouse episode. I don't know. Piñata named Desire just... it feels right. It's also just like, you would never believe that Stan's a bad actor, but they build on it so long that it actually kind of works. And having Roger as just that sort of drama teacher, I don't know, that feels like a perfect job for Roger. I'm torn between him and like the clown school Whiplash character as one of my favorite like Roger, I guess, A-story leading personas. The clown was a B story, but it's whatever. It's a really, really solid device for the story, and I really appreciate the episode. Number 4, Flirting with Disaster. Does anyone know anything about any launch codes? Between being filmed like a mockumentary, The Office, which is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Like, if you look at it, it's easy to make a mockumentary live action series. It's very easy to just sort of replicate that almost cheap presenting Office appeal. It makes it feel like you're watching a real Office. But what makes Flirting with Disaster so special is they animated it. And I know that sounds so stupid, I know, but shaky cam in an animated series and used effectively is much trickier than using it in real life. It shows that they're actually trying to add some creativity, some flair into the show, and we'll see that more in like Hot Water or Blood Crieth Unto Heaven. But there's just, again, there's that experimental charm that you don't always see in series like Family Guy or The Simpsons. They always stay very samey, and I appreciate that they keep the mockumentary until they just get rid of it entirely. They don't keep it for the entire episode, and it works because of it. Also, Ken Jeong's great in it. You've got Niecy Nash back, and I mean, she doesn't face any consequences. She's back in like 2 more episodes. It's just, I really, really like Flirting with Disaster. I didn't initially. When I first saw it, I was very lukewarm on it, but the more I kept watching it, the more Stan was just this absolute Stanimal. Fantastic. It's also great to hear Patrick Stewart just really loving the character of Bullock and just letting him be this absolutely crazy character. It just... Flirting with Disaster shows why Season 6 works. It is everything you could possibly want out of just a dumb Office parody while still having plenty of that American Dad flair. I think the only thing that brings it down, that makes it like a number 5, is the B story of Steve's like birdhouses going on just a smidge too long. It's not bad. I love how dark it gets later on. I love the almost morbidity of it, but it's not my favorite B story of the collection. Number 3, For Whom the Sleigh Bell Tolls. You gotta be good episodes to come above For Whom the Sleigh Bell Tolls. I mean, like, that is probably still one of my absolute favorite Christmas episodes. Make sure to check out my American Dad Christmas Rankings video that's been available since last year. But that was fun. I love doing that. But For Whom the Sleigh Bell Tolls is fantastic. It's the start of the Santa arc. It's a great Stan and Jeff episode. It's a great Stan and Steve episode. It's a great just the family coming together. You've got Roger learning from Bert to become the absolute master of moonshine. Clancy Brown has a brief cameo appearance. The whole show is just good. And For Whom the Sleigh Bell Tolls sets up an entire Christmas verse that we're going to get into later on in the series. And seeing where it all began with a helmet from Golden Compass and very pointy candy cane daggers really just makes it one of the best episodes of the entire season. For Whom the Sleigh Bell Tolls is something that I would add to any Christmas watch marathon, even if it wasn't American Dad. It is such a good American Dad episode, even if it didn't take place on Christmas. I will watch this episode any time of the year. I think what really gets me about it is the, like, I know what you did last summer notes that he leaves for everyone, and then he leaves Haley's, and it's just like, all right, that was actually pretty good. It's just having Santa be a true and proper force of arguable evil is amazing. Now, again, granted, they did earn his ire, but I don't know. It reminded me of Johnny Bravo, and I can't be mad at that.
Number 2, Stanny Boy and Frantastic.
If there was ever a rebound episode of American Dad, it would be Stanny Boy and Frantastic. I cannot tell you how long I absolutely despise this episode. I think it's the parkour scene. The parkour scene gets me every time. I can't watch it. I have watched a lot of movies, and body horror is just like anything Cronenberg, anything like really, really Lynchian. It's just like, I can't do it. But Stanny Boy and Frantastic has some of my favorite jokes. It is some of the best writing. You've got Sarah Chalk in there. There's fantastic acting. It's just, everything else around it makes that episode shine. But that's not why this is number 2. That's not, the A story is fine. The A story is whatever. It's actually very, very good. But the B story is something that I did not appreciate until many years later. Klaus convinces Steve and Roger to get a refund on the cotton candy gun they got, even though the refund would go just back onto Greg's account. And just the way they sit there and wait while Klaus gets the ultimate power move on both of them is terrific. It is such a long burn for a joke that if it failed, it would be absolutely disastrous. Like, you would lose half an episode if this joke did not pay off. But the fact that they even admit in the beginning that they bought it on Greg's card, and then don't call back to it until the very end where there's a resolution where they get that money, where they feel like they've accomplished something, that's masterful. That is expecting and trusting your audience to pay attention, but not pay too much attention. And it's like a Death at a Dinner Party, when they have Jeff disappear when the lights flicker off. You didn't notice it, but you've been watching the screen the whole time. It's almost like an optical illusion, except it's mental. It's a mental illusion. That's right, I made that up. Don't worry about it. Freeform. But it's great. I laughed so hard I cried when Roger asked if they were idiots. It's just, that episode has grown to be one of my absolute favorites of the series. It's in my top 10. That is some peak Fox daddage.
Number 1, 100 AD.
I would hope you would know that this was going to be somewhere on this list. At number 1, it's just because of the insanity of it. Not only do they start with just an absolutely ludicrous eye catch, but you also get a reference to Who Shot Mr. Burns, and then you get just a ton of references back to the last 100 episodes. But it's done in a fun and engaging way that actually does move the story forward. Now, while I don't like Son of Stan, aka 100 Part 2, I really love everything that's on display on 100 AD, even Principal Lewis becoming more and more front and center. Yeah, it's a great episode. It's wonderful having Haley and Jeff pull one over on Stan and Francine. It's great seeing Stan and Francine working together in a dynamic that works for them. And we get more wheels in the leg man. They don't really do anything, but that's fun in its own right. You know, you've got Avery and Reggie working together for some reason, and it's just every element works as it should. Every part of it is made with love. They understand that the 100 episode celebration could be a total jumping of the shark. Family Guy did it, Simpsons did it, but they chose to be very aware with how they did it. And I don't know, I really appreciate a creative team that respects the show that they're writing on, that respects that, yes, this is 100 episodes, this is something to be special, but also, this is American Dad, let's give them some peak American Dad right here. And they deliver. It is easily one of the funniest, if not the funniest episode of the season. It moves the story forward. It is a foundational episode for every episode of American Dad after it, while also celebrating how they got there and the viewers that got them there. I don't know. It'll always have a very special place in my heart. And there we have it. That's season 6, sports fans. Anything you think I was right on, wrong on? What was your top 5 episodes of season 6? What was your least favorite episodes? Let me know in the comments below. And if you liked what you saw, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and tell your friends we're out here. And if you want episodes before anyone else, make sure to join our Patreon and membership group, as well as joining the special list of incredible people that's rolling past right now. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time, especially if your name's Kevin, when we talk about Season 7. Stay strong, stay you, and know that I always believe in you. I'll see you next time.